Hello, yes, I'm back. It's Dark Art Bro here, back in the studio. Oh, thank the Lord. I know it's been a long time since I last did a video. It's just one of those things. I've just been extremely busy with life. Still doing art, but I can't always video everything I do. I just need to keep going, really. Yeah, so I'm really pleased to be back. Thank you all for still subscribing. If you're still there, hanging in there, thank you very much. If you're new, welcome to the channel. Check out some of the older videos. They're really cool. Just go down the list and see what you can see. There's lots of like tips and tricks there, from mapping out right through to like the finished product. Excuse me. So yes, thank you. Very humble for people watching my videos. So really, really cool. But I thought today, before we do that, all important is the weather in Lancashire. It's a bit windy today, peeps. Bit slightly windy around the old shops. So yeah, so I'm just pleased to be back in here. So what I thought I'd do, I've been meaning to finish this Stormtrooper helmet. Well, not finish it, we'll get it started in some ways, because what I've done is base coated it already, as you can see, and I just want to start do some artwork on it. And I've been mulling over it for ages, but I recently did a Blood Trooper, which I really love doing, and I think I'm going to go along that vein as well. Veins, blood, see what I mean? There's a trick to it all. And I think I'll still want to do the Blood Trooper, but I'm going to add some more sort of like extreme stuff on the back. So I'm going to do some sort of like Sith writing and sort of like a bit more like fundamentalist, like we did in the Modern World. That's just, it's pretend, it's not real. It's pretend. So it's just the beginning, really. But what is kind of cool about this is a little bit of a tutorial of how we create veins, sinew, and all my sort of trademark stuff. But how we use a candy as well. And that sort of links in how to do true fire, and how we layer, and how we go over the section again, and then we layer the candies. So you get different sort of like shades within the candy on the actual piece. So it's kind of like, I think that's kind of a useful tool to see. As you can see, I mean, I love my sinew from this, I like this little test piece we're doing, so talking little veins and bits and pieces. This is just sketching, really. But we are going to hit it on the front here with some veinage. As you can see there, my hand, look, bless him, in carbonite. But sort of like, this is an older piece when I started just sketching again. So we're going to try and look at how we do that, and maybe a bit of candy on it, so you can see how I kind of layer and layer. And what I want to do is branch off the front of the helmet from the nose. So I kind of want ridges. I might do like even bony sections. I'm just going with it, you know what I mean? Go with it. So on the hard surface where the nose is, everything's going to branch off and come down across. I usually put decals on here, but I don't know whether I'm going to do that yet. Did I do that first last time? I might just spread down here and see how I get on. But I can always add and remove, it's no problem. And then after that, then I'll have to decide where I want to go with this. This will be for sale, by the way, at some point. I've got all my other bits for it. It's going to be dead cool. So anyway, without further ado, what I'm going to do, there's no mapping out here. Well, it kind of is a bit of a mapping out, but there's no tape, there's no masking. All I'm going is freehand on here. This helmet's quite a decent helmet. It's got like, it's all polycarbonate, so it's quite heavy. So it's good hard wearing thing. And it feels like it's, you know, it's got some weight to it, which is really cool. Some of these flimsy ones. So anyway, so all I've done with this is primed it with a plastic primer. A grey primer, and then after that, if I can show you inside, because I've not quite finished it, you can see that grey primer inside there, just a little bit, yeah. And then all I've done then is base coated with this lovely specialist paint custom base black, and I did that with my big gun and it turned out really lovely. It's got a really nice finish to it, and once it's all done, it'll be all clear coated. So right, anyway, I'm just chatting on. Well, it's always lovely to be back. Really pleased that I could get back in the studio, but we'll do this video. I'm not going to spend ages doing it. I think just give you a starter section, and then maybe do a follow-up video as well, see how we get on, and let's watch this work its way through the process. Now in here, in my lovely custom micron, I've got a really reduced base white in this lovely little pot, little manky little pot, and that's really reduced. You can see how thin it is if you actually just see inside. See how thin it's nearly like thinner. But that's what I want. That's how I work on black or any other one. I just take my time, very slowly, layering and layering and layering. If you look at the other videos, when, for instance, the Beauty and the Beast, you'll see on the bonnet, I take ages layering a very, very thin layer of white because it's unforgiving. Any sort of opaque, black or white, is unforgiving. So the way it can be forgiven is by reducing it right down. So those people with a micron out there, or any other airbrush really, thinning and reducing is really key to having success with your artwork, really. And it took me ages to do that. And like I said, there's all formulas like 2 to 1 drop, 3 to 1 drop. Just do it so it's thin enough, and if it's too thin, add a bit of paint, add a drop, until you get the right consistency for your artwork. So yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to define sort of like ridges. You might not be able to, I'm hoping you'll be able to see this, but anyway, let's have a go. So I'm going to define ridges on the top, and all I'm going to do is bring lines off it. I'm not going into any detail, I'm just bringing lines off it all the way down where I want it. I think I'm going to avoid this section here because I want to put something else there, I think. So I'm going to come down, finish them out here, and then these ones are going to work the way all the way down the face of the mask. But we are going to put ridges across here, so which will work out in the end. You'll see it will sort of work out. So air on, air on. There we go. Super reduced. Any sort of freehand work, here we go, can be quite loose. But when I go into detail work, I tuck in. I do snooker cue time. If you look how to control like a boss. And then I can work in and out. I've took the end cap off as well because that gives me a bit more closer action. But be careful because you dink them, so be careful. So anyway, right, here we go. So I'm just going to sort of like... I'm not going to worry about if I go wrong. It doesn't matter because anything like... I don't know if you can see there. I'm hoping you can. Yeah, you can see a little bit. It's just shiny, isn't it? Any sort of work where... it's veins, sinew, anything like that. There we go, look. It's not uniform. And that's why I love it, really. Can you see like a bit of a branch coming off there? Gosh, this shiny, isn't it? Shiny, shiny, shiny. Sorry, peeps. Let me just try this, see if this helps out. Just wait 1 second, people. I don't know if that helps. Let's have a look again. Let's put my light back on. This is, oh yeah, it reduces the shine a bit. Okay, let's try it like that. So all I'm doing, I'm not doing any branching off yet. I want to do ridges like here, like a Klingon face. And I'm freestyling down the bottom. I am not worried about where I'm going. You can see a bit there, yeah, brilliant. Let's do this side, you might see a bit more. Even I'm struggling a bit. It's because it's such a gloss on here. So I'm even extending that down there. So all I'm doing is adding lines to it. Let me just come across it here a bit. Sorry peeps, like I say, if you're new to the channel, you probably find out that I'm not the most professional at doing these videos, but it is what it is, and if you don't like it, I can't do much else about it really. Okay, so we're going to cut some more here. Again, don't worry about it if you make a little mistake, it's not the end of the world. I'm going to cut through and down. Not uniform. Well, not anything uniform here. I'm just laying down my veinage. That sounds wrong, doesn't it? Okay, cool. So this little section again. Can you see? I hope you can see. I'm just going to put ridges on there. And I like the concept of having Blood Troopers, like fanatics, you know. And I kind of want to make it my USP, because that's a really sad word to say. My USP, my unique selling point. I'm not in bloody Right, I'm going to take this further down now. I want it to go over the front of here, so I'm going to take one of these and I'm going to go around. And if you notice, I'm going with the curve of the helmet. No straight lines, peeps, not if you want some nice ergonomic sort of lines. God, I'm using big words today. This is just the beginning, just the beginning. Let's take this one here. Every vein will lead on to another or lead off to another, yeah? And if you see there, I'm just adding little sections off. These are just lines, just lines. I wonder if you can see it better there. Oh, manoeuvrage, live manoeuvrage. Let me just delve in a bit. There you go, you can see the lines that I've just been doing there. So all I'm doing is just sketching out really where I want these veins and bits of sinew coming off. And then if you can see there, I just branch off again, but I'm going with the lines of the helmet. Like I say, I'm not going to go into this section because I want to do something different with that. It looks like a bit of a mess, doesn't it? But it's not, honestly, it's going to look cool. I'm just branching out a little bit. So I'm looking for like, let's have a look here. I might just do a section here. Gotta be careful because I don't want it. Yeah, okay. Let's move the helmet. What's going on there? Yeah, so, yeah, life, very busy. But, you know, look at this, look. Is it too close up? Is that annoying people? Let me pull out again, just so you can just see what I'm doing slowly. If I go back to one, there we go. That gives us a better view now. So, all I've done is mapping out this area here. I'm not going to put anything across the helmet, the front net. I'm going to do lots of more decals and bits and pieces over this section. But all I wanted to do is lay down this veiny area. So what I'm looking for now is just to branch off, a bit like on the clothing, no different to that in some ways, apart from it's a bit more detailed. So if I'm going to go for these highlighted areas on top. Don't know if you can see there. And I think anything with art, you have to be in the right frame of mind. And sometimes I'm not. But I am today. So, looking at here is just sort of laying down some fundamental veinage. And all I'm doing is layering on top. The lines are done there, and then branching off some little bits as well. Don't know if you can see that on that side. Let me zoom in again. So it's a bit bitty this, sorry guys. There you go, you can just see where I've just sort of like branched out some bits here. Let's keep that on like there for a second. I'm just going to work this corner. So kind of, I've seen this like a bony area, if it was like a face, and these are just bits stretching off the face. I don't really want to go into the eye too much. I'm going to have a bit of a vein coming down here. And even branch that off a little bit. And you start getting a bit of an effect. Yeah, there we go. The light, the light. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to branch off these, and then I'm going to layer some lovely candy red over the top of it. But at the moment, like I say, just laying down this white, super reduced. Have fun with it. Be free. You can see my hands there. I'm tucked in a bit because I just want some more control over this. It's kind of freeing, but I'm going to be free to the point where we can make a mess of it. I think any artwork on something you've prepared and you think, oh god, like any motorbike helmet like that has to be really right. Not cheap, is it? Yeah, so everyone's right, everyone's chilled. The world's gone a bit mad at the moment. Oh, let me pull back a bit, see how it feels again. There we go, you can see a bit more. I think there's lots of people not liking each other, and that's one of those things, isn't it? But I think it's nice to actually like each other. And us doing this makes my brain chilled. And it's exciting. And no one's dying. So we're alright, aren't we? Yeah, so yes, all I'm doing is going over certain lines again. Just adding more texture to it. There'll be little high points on the veins. And then adding little sections coming off. See here. Really close in there. And even sometimes I'm putting a mist down of white just in certain areas. Just so it defines. Look at this, look. Whoa, some lovely veinage happening now. Yeah, I am going to consider doing it. I've got another piece that I want to start doing. I've got a nice piece of dye bond. I want to do a larger piece. But nailing this technique, like I say, like even with clothing and bits and pieces, it will make you stand out against the rest of the airbrushes out there. Yeah, because it just is a cool technique. Like I say, it doesn't have to be perfect because veins aren't perfect. They shouldn't be uniform. You can see that area there, I think. Blinking light. It's hard, isn't it? Okay, cool. Let's just keep working. Maybe I should be more professional. Have like a studio. Not for me, unfortunately. Okay, so all I'm doing is adding a bit more detail on this side. There's always one side that you prefer than the other. This, to me, I'm right-handed, so this side is working really nice. That side I'll have to turn the helmet and give it a bit of a different approach. And if you are new to the channel, I am a big fan of pop art and pop culture. I was the original Star Wars sort of fan. I still am really. I just find it a bit difficult now that Disney's got hold of it. I don't mind some of it. I have recently just watched the Andor, which is really kind of cool. Had that sort of like vibe of being back in the old school way of doing things. But I'm going to turn on this side a little bit because I've been working that side a bit. Can you see there? Let's have a look. Let's zoom in a bit here. Here we go. Look at me technical stuff. Okay, so that lights, this gloss paint. Okay, right, cool. Let's see if you can see anything here. So again, leading from the top. Yeah, I was saying it, Andor, I thought that's pretty cool. All I'm doing is layering and just coming off some little sections here. This white paint is so reduced you can barely see it. But that's how we get better results. I wish I could take this light off here. Any budding video people that could help me with that, please do. Because it's kind of annoying. That's gone a bit wide, this bit here. Doesn't matter, we can bring it back because I can branch off. See there, little section. But with anything like this, just take your time. Take your time, enjoy it. And one imperfection can make something look really cool. It's like here, I can just see how it links through there. Ooh. Yes, we're looking for a nice flow on the helmet. And you'll see it pop. So what we'll do, I'll lay down the white. And then what happens then, we'll do a light coating, light dusting of this brutal candy red. And that will bring out that line. I think I'll show you now. I'll show you in a minute. I'm going to put some more lines down here. And then we'll do it, because it doesn't matter. And then we'll do some more, we'll do some candy red so you can see that effect. I don't know if you can see there. My apologies for my cameraing. Hope everyone's good in the world as well. A bit wide, don't it? I hope everyone's actually airbrushing, maybe, you never know. I'd like to think they are. Let's get another bit off. There we go, lovely. If you've not tried airbrushing, please do. Give it a go. I mean, I think it's a wonderful hobby. Well, profession for me a little bit, to be fair. Sort of semi-professional. I see me just working this area here. I don't know if you can see that there. It's splitting off in 3 ways, and there's a high point right on top there. There's another bit more white there. But what is lovely, it's caused these little 3 sections pulling off. And even again down here. Yeah. But things always lead off into stuff. So if you do veins or any sort of clothing, it's where stuff will lead off. So there should be a start point, even if it's a skull, of the skull's face and the neck. You can lead off so it looks like it's stretching out the page. I don't know if I've got one here. There's a kind of similar sort of approach. Can I see? Let me pull that back up again. I'm being really good at this camera malarkey, I think. So you get this stretched approach leading into. That was another sketch, just practicing. So you can see it leads off from something into something. Yeah. Be fluid, be open with your artwork, and you'll get some really, really cool results. Like I say, this is just a sketch piece on a bit of dye bond. There we go. Pop that there. But I'm keen for you to show you this layering of candy. So what we'll do, we'll layer a bit of candy on there. Let me just do this. Layer some candy red. And you can do this numerous times. That's the thing about candies, you have to layer them. That's why they're quite hard to repair. If you got it on your car or motorcycle or whatever. It's not just a quick repair, it's a bit more than that. I'm a bit woolly around here. Okay, let's concentrate, Pete. There we go. Yeah, so look at yeah. Yeah, it's being brave. I mean, this is heavily reduced, but that's what I like. Ooh, yeah. The top section needs doing work on. Get a piece lined up here. I think my ear went into the camera then. Okay, cool. So I'm looking for some high points here now, especially on these junctions. Just to give me a starter for 10. Yeah, I hope everyone's actually trying to do stuff. And if you're unsure about starting something, have a look at my earlier videos as well. Shows you how to map things out, mask things, different techniques, even just holding the airbrush, which I'm doing there. Ooh, look, you see, we're getting this sort of like vein effect. This is just the beginning, peeps. Really is just the beginning. I want something going off the edge there, because I like it'll look pretty cool. So we're going to continue on down, over the top, and down. So we're just following the line of the helmet. The good thing about Trooper helmets, they're not kind of ergonomic. A bit like Vader's, they're not symmetrical. There might be one side that's slightly different, because if they're both, it doesn't look quite right for some reason. And I don't know why that is. I'm sure there's some people out there that can tell me the answer. I know Vader's isn't symmetrical. Looks quite radical. Now, do I continue up there? I'll have a think. So I'm basically just adding highlights to the top of stuff at the minute. I might add some more lines coming off here. Like I say, you have certain sides that you prefer working on. Mine definitely is that right side, I think. It's not the end of the world though. This is looking pretty damn fine. I really do enjoy doing these videos, but it's time for me, just finding time to do it, because I have other projects that I'm working on, and sometimes it's time based, so I've got to sort of make sure that I get them done. But this is kind of just one of my little projects, so that's cool. So we've got time to do it, yay! Let's add some little ridges here. Ooh, looks kind of messy, but don't worry, it's all going to come clear soon. I do encourage people to go freehand as well. Practice, just go and practice on a piece. A bit similar to my gremlin I did as well. Just go and get a bit of paper or a bit of dye bond. Practice, just keep practicing. Make a bit of downtime. You can see holding my airbrush like a sneaker cue, because I can move in and out. Nice and tight in. Thumb tucked behind that thumb. Thumb tucked behind the thumb. Yeah, big hello to all the world out there. Hi America, hope you're good over there. We love you still, don't worry. Hi to all of the Europeans, hope everyone's good over there. Hi to Asia, wherever you are in the world, hello you lovely people. I wonder which my furthest subscriber might be. Now you can see some build up here, which is really, really nice. So I am going to show you what I do, even like you can see this. Once you start seeing sinew, I know I'm digressing a bit. Once you start seeing sinew, it becomes very addictive. And what you can do. I am going to make this one a complex vein sort of blood trooper. The other one I didn't do so much. Well, it was good, no problems, but it wasn't as complex. So I'm keen to make this a bit more complex, but with detail, if that makes sense. So you can see the differences. Okay, cool. Because I want little capillaries coming off, little bits of veins coming off the capillaries, and oh yeah, so it'll be all like pretty sexy. Anyway, right, I'm going to show you what I do with the beauty camera red quickly, and then I'll show you what we'll do then, how we lay on top of that. But this is just the beginning of this helmet. This is just the beginning of getting that lovely sort of blood vein effect. Got some lovely blue to candle red. This is all from Inspire Paints. I love this stuff. People use other different candies, but love Inspire Paints. I've got a lot of their gear. Get into it. And I'm only going to put a mist down, so I'm just going to use my lovely HPC, yeah, which is a 0.3 needle, if I can get into it. Right, this is where things go wrong. If you've not, like, say, if you've not been new to my channel, this is where I've not prepared. Right, there we go. Oh. Oh. What is that? Did I leave paint in here? Oh, that's really good. Let's have a look at this. Oh, I have done. Well, that's quite interesting actually, because I've left paint in there for a while. And I've just shot it like that. And there you go. Absolutely perfect. So this is black in here. Right, I'm just going to flick it over because I don't want to waste the paint. I'm just going to spray it in the back of there. There we go. Let's do the base of that as well. Always good to put more paint on. Wow, how interesting. So what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to give it a quick flush through, which is quite good if you've not seen it before. So I've got some de-thinner in here, which is just like any thinner that you use with your, or thinner or reducer you'd use with your airbrush. I'm just going to squirt that in there. I'm going to give that a whiz round. I do have a little paintbrush that I use just to sort of like give it a bit of a clean. In fact, no, let's use this one. It's a nice big fat one. I'm not too worried about, well, I kind of want it clean because, there we go, the candy needs to be quite clear. 2 seconds, please. I'm just going to get rid of that. Let me just get more thinner in there. So I'm not, this is not a deep clean or anything. This is just a, what we call a wash through. So you can't see me there. I'm just getting in there a little bit. Just a bit of a wash through. I'll blast it through and then we'll get some thinner on there. Let me just get a wet wipe. I mean, everyone has different ways of cleaning airbrushes. There we go. All I want is just a wash through for this. Blah, 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 blah. God, real time. See, that shows how unprepared I am. Useless! Right, okay, let me blast through again. We like these squids on the older. And the old helmet. Good idea, not to clean. Right, that is now kind of clean. But quite interesting enough, there was a guy that, oh, was it? No, he was like, really famous airbrusher. Does portraits, really, really cool. But it was saying you don't always have to clean them. You can leave paint in. It could be overnight, and you can still work it the next day. And that proves that fact. It was flowing lovely then. I just fired it off, and off it went. And that's been in there for a few days. You can see it's a bit dirty, doesn't it? Right. Anyway, so I'm going to add some candy. I'm not going to reduce this because it's quite thin. I'm just going to test it now. Just test it on the edge. Let it flow through. There we go. You get this lovely, beautiful. I love this Bruce Cannon red. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to mist over it. I wonder if you can see it there. Is that better? Let me just see if that works. Okay, so I'm quite away from the actual piece. I'm just going to mist. You see it going pink. But for instance, on this side, you'll see it start bringing out some of the laid down lines that I've done. I'm not worried about it being overspray on here because it's black. Pretty loose. I'm not going completely in the black areas because what I can go back in with some black later and sort of make those more defined. So all I'm doing is just laying down a bit of colour. Over these lovely white veins, and you can see how it sort of starts becoming defined there. Oh, this light! I'm so sorry, Pete. It drives you mad by switching me off. It's a fine mist all the way down. Let's pull back again. There we go. I'll turn it this way over the front of the helmet. But like I said, this is early data. It's right at the start of the process. So all I'm doing is just misting it down. I can't see it, you can't, can you? There we go. There we go, fine, really fine, misting and crop, Now I can lay down, you can see where it's slightly white there, I can lay down more colour on there and that'll go darker as such, you see. And that's what we're going to do, slowly but surely, just add more colour. But these lines, these veins are not finished, they're nowhere near finished. I want it nice and bright on the front. Because we don't want a pink trooper, even though that might be pretty cool. Love candy paint, it's wonderful to work with, very easy to shoot through the airbrush. So I'm just laying down lots more on here. But it is laying down lots of thin layers to get that effect. Don't just dump it on there. I'll turn it around a bit. Sorry if you can't see, Pete. Just need to get this colour on here. So you're getting a really deep red when you start laying down some more on those highlights again. You can see. Let me just zoom in again. You can get fed up with me. There we go. Let me just turn this way a bit. There we go. Can you see that there? Just watch me, just this colour here. I'm just going to aim for this section. Just made a mistake on my artwork there. Just adding a bit more colour there. It's a deeper red. Right, so there. Let's pull back out again. I'm going to leave that like that. And then what I'll do then is go back to the white. And we go back to the white and we layer again. We layer again. What happens is you get these little spin-offs of candy that will just add texture. And that's what we want, to add more highlights. And when you put more candy down, it'll add more texture to the artwork. So there'll be a depth to it, which would be even better. Let's have a look here. And that's similar with True Fire or stuff like that. It's a patience game, and it's layering the layering and layering of the candy. Give us a decent effect. I'm so sorry about the light. I can't do much about that. I don't think that's... There you can see that side a lot more. Even though I'm working on this side. So all I'm doing is layer on top of that red, adding a bit more detail, a bit more highlights on those raised areas, which like the veins. I can see the veins at the back of my hand. Let me have a look here. Let's get some decent ones. Oh, there you go, got the vein there. So I'm looking for these raised areas on the back of the veins. Kind of quite veiny, really. That way. Can you see that there? No. You tell I'm getting frustrated with this. But anyway, right. Let's try. There you go, you can see it there. So all I'm doing is going over again. Maybe adding a little bit more detail. Bits leading off. But taking my time now, because I've got the base mapping out of the veins. So I'm just adding more detail. So that leans off there. So this kind of layering technique is quite fluid in some ways, because you keep adding more, you layer on top, adds a bit more depth, keep adding more level of depth, and then get to a point where you think, okay, that's it, it's in focus, it's where I want it. And that, again, if I look at my previous videos, it talks about that, it's like pushing and pulling the image, adding texture, adding depth to the image, and that takes time. It takes time and effort to do it. So it looks like I'm doing the same process over and over again. But I'm always adding a small amount or a little bit more to that process, and that gives you that detail that you need, that's going to push your artwork to another level. I want to do this side. As soon as I do that, it goes like, shiny, can't see. Oh dear. Actually, straight on's good, but it's hard for me to go straight on. So I'm working this side more than anything. I'll work that side at some point more, but it's just showing you how we get those results, really. So you can see now it's very different to what was before. I'm just taking my time with like certain areas, adding the detail, adding smaller, higher sections. Same with the clothes. When you fold some clothing, it's the same sort of similar effect. I will zoom in and show you as well some like little really fine capillaries coming out. Again, that's control with the airbrush. Oh, I do love this custom micron, it's such a lovely thing. I'm just going to zoom in again so you can see this. Let me try again. Let's try it once more, let me just see. Let's see if we get the shine off. Okay, yeah. Kind of. There you go. You can see this sort of work in this area now. I'm adding little highlights to the top of these sections. And I don't know, should we do it for mega zoom? Let's see what it does. Mega zoom. Oh gosh, that's a bit too much in it. No, that's come out. Reverse. There we go. So it's like on these sections, I'll be adding really small, adding more and more texture, more and more lines, and then we go again with the Bruty Candle Red. In fact, I'll do that and I'll swing the helmet round. So that section there, I'm just going to add. See, I can't hardly see that, and I'm doing it. Obviously I don't want to rush this because it's something that I really enjoy doing, so, but it just gives you, let me have a look at it. Now I'll just fill this bit and I'll show you what I mean. There we go. Can we see that there? No, god damn it. There we go. Yeah. So I've added a highlight on top of that sort of section of the vein, and I've come off here and I've done some really fine little capillaries coming off there. And that's what I'm doing. I'm going to work the whole helmet doing that. Well, not the whole helmet, this section. And then I'll layer the candy again. And then we'll get a more deep effect, which is what we're after. Beautiful. But get airbrushing, peeps. Get airbrushing. Get out there. Get some airbrushing on the go. Oh, look, he's starting to come out nice, isn't he? Let's reverse back again. I am the ultimate cameraman. Right, I'm going to leave it there because we've been going for a while. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll do one more pass of with our lovely Bruty Candy Red, just to show you what I mean. And then I'm going to end the video. But I hope you'll stay tuned for the rest of this. Look at this now. Oh. For the rest of this build on this lovely helmet, my Blood Trooper helmet, and you'll see me adding some more. I'll give you a last shot of how deep it comes here, look, in a second. Because the whiter areas, they just hold the red a bit better. So anything below that, it'll look not as bright, which is great. And that's the effect I want. So it looks like, let's go across here. Starting to look like veins and sinew and goo, and love it. I love it. It's like I love the monster. Okay, let me just get this section here. And it's a great way to understand how candies work. you can understand if you got a whole vehicle covered in candy paint, let's go to that section there, that if you dink it, it's not just a quick repair like they would do down the old Ford shop or whatever, or the VW garage. It's a bit more complex than that, so that's why it costs a lot of money. I mean, I'm not a car spraying kind of guy, but I'm sure there's people out there would agree if they work with these candies on a big scale. I don't know. It's bad enough on a small scale. No, it's not. I love them. They're really good. Okay, so cool. I'm just going to show you the last little shot of this then, so you can see how deep that colour goes. And you can see the different shadings, and you can see the different textures. If I can zoom in. I'm like, my zooming, it's like blinking. Let me get this close. That might be easier. No. Yeah. Oh. I don't know if you can see that there's some real nice textures inside these little veins, and it's like kind of like furry in some ways, feathering off. And that's what happens with candies. It picks out and it adds that layers of texture, and you get this really lovely desired effect, depth and perception, and looking really freaking cool. So this is the start of the Blood Trooper. Like I say, it's on for got a long while to go yet. I'm going to keep working on this. I'll do another video where I kind of finishing it off, I guess, that section, and then we're going to work on the rest of it. We've got the whole back to do, we've got the sides need to do. I'm going to put some decals all over it and go a bit crazy at the back there. I haven't decided what I want to do, but I'm going with it. But that's just a bit of a sort of introduction to it. I'm sorry about the camera and the light. It's extremely difficult to get it because it is glossy. It's a really lovely glossy black, and once it's done it'll be all clear coat, it'll be all nice and shiny. But I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm really sorry I haven't done one for a long while, but I've just been really busy. But it's not the end of the world, and I kind of like really thank everyone, my loyal supporters that have been with me all the way through. And I'm not ended, mate. I've got lots to do. I've got that bonnet over there. I've got lots of projects on the go. So please tune in, and if not, then that's up to you. Have an awesome day in this lovely windy Lancashire area. We'll say goodbye. Dark Art Pro signing off. Cheers everyone, bye.